We all probably remember the story of Arvada teen Shannon Conley and the 3 girls from Aurora. All 4 recruited by ISIS, and all 4 boarded planes to join the radical fight in Syria. Tonight, Denver7 investigates the explosive growth of ISIS recruiting on the internet. Here's what we know. They're aggressive, tactical, and convincing. The result, alarming numbers of Americans getting on planes headed for Syria.
We are men honored with Islam who climbed its peaks to perform jihad.
Sometimes it's a well-crafted video.
Answering the call to unite under one flag.
Other times it's a series of messages on Twitter. Tactics selling a radical message and luring hundreds of Americans to the Middle East.
It's an aggressive threat because it can reach into any home in the United States.
And it's an aggressive threat that successfully recruited 4 Colorado teenagers. How long were they recruiting your daughter and her teenage friends?
I believe it's over a year.
And you didn't see any of it?
Nothing.
Back in October of 2014, his 15-year-old daughter and 2 of her teenage friends skipped school and boarded a plane on their way to Syria. But law enforcement stopped them in Germany before they got to the ISIS recruiters.
They told them how to do it, how to get to the airport. They taught them the way.
And earlier in 2014, another Denver area teenager, Shannon Conley, was also on her way to Syria. FBI agents arrested her at Denver International Airport before she boarded.
It still is a bit of a shock when anybody, an American, wants to go overseas to basically join our enemies.
Adam Krob serves as a supervisory special agent for the FBI in Denver.
Since probably early 2014, we've had about 80 people or so that we've interdicted traveling over to the Syria-Iraq area to join the jihad.
And those numbers are even greater, according to a study by the Program on Extremism at George Washington University. Citing federal sources, the study reports as of last fall, 250 Americans have traveled or attempted to travel to Syria and Iraq to join ISIS. The report says social media plays a crucial role in the radicalization, and American ISIS sympathizers are particularly active on Twitter. Do you see this as a tactical effort to recruit?
I do. You know, it's almost like setting the hook.
Informed sources tell Denver7 the gateway to ISIS and Syria many times starts on Twitter and then progresses to chat rooms and message boards like Ask FM.
He'll continue kind of this grooming process until he can really get an understanding about what her real intentions are, or how he can get her to the intention of wanting to come travel.
We asked the FBI to analyze a social media discussion discovered by Denver7 Investigates. It appears to show communication between an ISIS recruiter and a teenage girl.
How old do you want to get married at? As soon as possible, inshallah, God willing.
In a way, they're selling marriage.
Yeah, I mean, in this particular example, absolutely. Further down in this conversation is he starts to compliment her and says, you know, you're beautiful, I would do anything to marry a girl like you.
Experts say in many cases, ISIS recruiters lure females with marriage and males with the opportunity to join the jihad. Fair to say that's a red flag?
Absolutely a red flag.
Other common recruiting themes include appealing to emotions, creating a sense of belonging, identifying personal conflicts with family, friends, school, or society, and creating a sense of purpose.
It's very akin to what pedophiles do when they're grooming kids online. It's not something that's going to go away anytime soon. We're facing really big challenges with the fact that terrorist organizations and other bad actors are using these free platforms to spread their message.
It's clear they're devoting an enormous amount of resource to this.
Colorado's U.S. Attorney John Walsh says attempts to block ISIS recruiting are complicated. Complicated by the fact that communications that start on Twitter often move to chat rooms with servers based overseas or to encrypted sites.
That's a problem, and if that continues to develop, we have to find ways to address it.
Couple updates for you now. Shannon Conley was arrested, charged, and convicted. She's now serving a 4-year sentence in an Alabama federal prison. The 3 Aurora teenagers, all minors, were detained and questioned, but not charged. And a final note, if you're looking for a potential red flag, One of the Aurora teenagers was a big music fan, but her family noticed she suddenly stopped listening to music. It turns out ISIS recruiters told her to stop because they said it was against her faith.